Hey everybody, I'm Brian Hank, and I'm going to teach you how to play Good Cop, Bad Cop. I am a co-designer of the game, so I know a little bit about it. So let's get into it. So, theme, everybody around the table is a cop. You are either an honest cop or a crooked cop. Somebody is going to lead the honest team. They'll be the agent. Somebody else is going to lead the crooked team. They will be the kingpin. The object of the game is to eliminate the opposing leader. So if you're on the crooked side, you're going to try to find and eliminate the agent. If you are on the honest side, you're going to find and eliminate the kingpin. And then the game ends, and the team who is able to eliminate the opposing leader will win. So there are usually multiple winners. Even if you didn't make it, if you yourself were not a leader and you were eliminated, you still win or lose with your team. So let's just set up the game. That's all you really need to know about the theme. So we're going to start with the integrity cards, the honest and crooked cards. So we're going to always take out the agent and kingpin. But really overall, you're just looking at the number in the upper right corner. I'm going to set up a 4-player game, so I'm only going to take out the 4+ cards. Anything above the number of players I'm playing with would be taken out of the game. So I'm going to take out anything that's 5+, 6+, 7+, or 8+. All right, those go back into the box. We don't need those at all. Got our integrity cards squared away. Now we are going to do the equipment cards. Same thing. There's just a few of them that are taken out. 2, I believe. Yep, 2 of them here. Yep, so 2 of them that are over 4+, so I'm going to put those in the box as well. I don't need those. And the rest can be shuffled. Somebody can shuffle them and put them in the center of the table. So we got those. Again, guns are the same story. So with a 4-player game, we're taking out the 5+ and the 7+ guns. Those can go in the box too. The other 2 guns, put a little standee on them and put them in the center of the table. Okay. Your standees might be a different color. Each version kind of has some different colors, so don't worry about that. Also put a standee on your lead investigator and put that in the center. You can actually give that to the player who was last shot. That's who will start the game. So that could be in another game of Good Cop, Bad Cop, a previous one that you just played. Could be in paintball, a video game, or if you feel like it, just use a random number generator or dice or something like that. So figure out who's going first. Give them the lead investigator card. Any extra standees can go back in the box. And now it's time to, the wounded tokens. Those can go in the center of the table too. It's time to deal out some integrity cards. We're going to figure out who is who. So you always take out the agent and the kingpin. And then we just need one more random card for each player in the game. So we're a 4-player game. So we've got 2. We just need 2 more. And now we're going to shuffle these up and deal 1 to each player. So it's the only tricky part really in the setup is to make sure to do this. This just ensures that we only have a single agent and a single kingpin. Deal that to each player. Alright, I'm actually going to have 1 player over here and 1 player over here. Go, be easier. And now everybody has 1 integrity card. We just got to give them 2 additional ones. So we deal out 2 more. Depending on the number of players, you might have 1 leftover integrity card. If you do, put that in the box, probably the easiest place, or next to it. You might need it in the next game, but for this game, you don't need it. And that's it. Everybody's got their roles. So we'll take a look at this person's role. So everybody secretly looks, sees who they are, and then they can mix up the order, and then they put them down in front of them. So each player is going to do that. I'll play kind of 2 players here. All right. Put that right there. So now these would stay face down for as we get started here. Nobody knows anyone else's identity. But here, I'm going to flip these over so we can see what we are. So if the majority of your 3 integrity cards are honest, then you are an honest cop. But if let's say I had those 2. If the majority are crooked, then you're a crooked cop. That's it. So that's how you know which side you're on. I guess it's not really it, because there's one other thing. So if you have one of the leader cards then no matter what your other 2 cards are, you're always on that team. So the agent, no matter what these are, is always an honest cop. So if we switch that like that, even if they had 2 crooked cards, they would still be on the honest team. They'd be leading the honest team. And it'd be, of course, the same thing if it was the kingpin. No matter what they had, agent or kingpin trumps. So that's it. That's how you know who you are. You know whether you're a leader, whether you're honest, or whether you are crooked. And that's how you set it up. The only other thing is everybody gets a random equipment card to begin the game. Give that to each player. Alright, put the rest of the equipment cards in the center of the table, and you're ready to get going. So whoever was going first, the lead investigator, and they get to take one of the 5 actions for their turn. So I'm going to say that I'm this person here. So I'm secretly the agent. So I would get to investigate, means to secretly look at one of these cards nobody else gets to see. Make sure you're careful about picking it up too, so that none of the players next to you can see it. Put it back right where you found it. Once these integrity cards go face down at the beginning of the game, they can't be moved unless equipment cards move something. So that's it. That's your first action. So we're just going through the 4 actions that you can take on your turn. First one being investigate. So we covered that one. Next one here is equip. So I mean, these go really quickly. You can see, you just, so investigate, look at a card, and that's it. Next player's turn, they maybe look at someone else's card. Boom. So turns just kind of really fly by. So that's investigate. Next one, equip. So equip means to draw a new equipment card. So if I don't like the equipment card that I was given to start the game, or I've already used it, then I can equip to get a new one. So there is a penalty. In order to draw a new equipment card, I have to flip one of these face up. One of my integrity cards have to go face up. Everybody knows now, 1/3 of my identity. There's also a hand limit of 1. Only have 1 equipment card in your hand, so I have to choose which one of these I want to discard. I'm going to keep that one. The one I discard, anytime you use or discard an equipment card, it goes on the bottom of the equipment deck. So put that one away, and that's my turn. So that was the equip action. We'll move on to the arm action. We'll pretend it's this player's turn. We're going to pick up one of the guns in the center of the table. Can't take it from another player. Has to be in the center of the table. Put it in front of you. This also comes with a penalty of flipping over one of your cards. Flip over that one. And then at the end of your turn, after you take your one action, if you ever have a gun, then the next part of your turn is to take aim. You actually have to aim it at a player. So I'm going to aim it right over there at that player. And that's it. Next player's turn. So that's arm. Well, we've got the final action. And that's to shoot. And that's only available to you if you are holding a gun. So if it goes around to this player's turn again, and they still have that gun pointed at that player, they have the option now. We'll actually say I aimed over here at this player. They have the option to shoot. So shooting, it doesn't cost anything, except you just have to drop your gun. It goes back to the center of the table for somebody else to use. The player who was shot would flip over their 3 cards. So if they were just a regular cop, then they just turn their cards sideways. They are out of the game. But if they were an agent, so although they're out of the game, there is a card that can bring them back, the defibrillator, so they could come back in the game. Otherwise, the game is very quick, so they'll be ready to play a game after this one finishes. But they do win or lose with the team. So if this was a crooked cop that was taken out, if the agent is eliminated at the end of the game, this player still wins because they helped their team in some way. Maybe they just took a bullet. Maybe they made themselves a target, which was good if they're not a leader. If they were shot and they're a leader, leaders can take a bullet before they're eliminated. So they get a wounded token. Wounded token just means that you're a leader and you were shot once, one more shot, and you are eliminated. You also, whenever you're wounded, take a free equipment draw. So you can look here. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to put this one under the bottom of the equipment deck. And that's it. Play would continue. So, of course, if a leader is wounded and shot again, game immediately ends. Game over. The opposing team wins. So, in this case, the agent is eliminated. All crooked cops would win this game. A couple other notes on using equipment. So, these equipment cards can be used at any time, with the exception of Taser here. It's so good that you actually do have to use it on your turn, for your turn. But otherwise, the easiest way to handle this is to just say, when someone's about to do something, if someone says, you know, I'm gonna shoot for my turn, you just say stop, and then you use your equipment card. Does someone have a good one? You can say, here's a good one. So you just say stop. This player was about to shoot. The player would play the card. This is blackmail, so they get to choose 2 integrity cards held by other players. Those cards are exchanged. So that player played it. They could exchange, let's say, this one and this one. So that might have just changed which team this player is on. So whenever a equipment card is used in reaction to an action that a player has taken, like shoot, the player who took that action can now choose to either still do that action, or choose a different action for their turn. So now they're thinking, I think I'm now aimed at a player on my team. So no, instead I'm just going to investigate for my turn, and then I'm going to aim at someone else. And so then at the end of my turn, for free, always get to take aim. Just a couple other things. When you do play an equipment card, you can play it in response to an action of somebody else, but nobody else can play an equipment card until your equipment card is resolved. So you can't respond to an equipment card with another equipment card like you might in like Magic. So there isn't like a stack like that. You play an equipment card. You do that in response to an action, or just if nothing has happened yet. So start of somebody's turn and the end of somebody's turn, you can use an equipment card, but you just can't use an equipment card in response to another equipment card. But you can play multiple equipment cards on a single action. It's just that you play one, you resolve it. Now somebody else could play another equipment card and resolve that one. And now it's up to that player's turn again, and they can decide if they want to continue with the action they chose, or now that these equipment cards have resolved, if they want to change what they do for their turn. The other thing is, if you pick up a gun through an equipment card or at kind of an unusual time, like it's not on your turn, if you pick up a gun when it's not on your turn through an equipment card or something, then you always aim that gun at someone. You can never have a gun out there that isn't aimed at somebody. And so that's it. This has been Brian Hank, teaching you how to play Good Cop, Bad Cop. Send us an email at support@overworldgames.com if you have any other questions, or put them in the comments. We'll respond that way too. Or post on BGG, so boardgamegeek.com. Go to the Good Cop, Bad Cop page. A bunch of other people have asked questions that already have answers. Lastly, you can use our FAQ over at overworldgames.com, and that has answers to common questions that people have asked. So I think that's it. So yeah, this has been How to Play Good Cop, Bad Cop. Good luck in your future investigations.